And with me in studio now is Brian Altunian. He's the CEO of WOWIO LLC. Brian, always good to see you.
Thank you, Don. Good to be here.
You know, Brian, I had a couple of emails from viewers who are a little bit confused because we've been introducing you as the CEO of WOWIO here for the past 3 or 4 weeks, but for about a year we introduced you as the Chief Operating Officer of Platinum Studios. You want to give us a distinction?
Yeah, sure, and I'm glad you brought it up. I get the question all the time as well, especially because there was at one time a relationship between Platinum and WOWIO. But you know, Don, for a long time I've been involved with early stage companies looking to get access to capital. And you know, it's difficult for a private company to, you know, go out and successfully get operating capital. You know, you've got entrepreneurs, got some great IP, has, you know, solved some major need in a big market and needs capital to work. And you know, the VCs and the angel route, difficult routes to go for an early stage company, for an entrepreneur who ends up, you know, losing most of their ownership to that company. So you know, I've, you know, been involved with a number of companies that have gone to the over-the-counter market in order to get access to capital, to build working capital, to move from research and development into commercialization. And with Platinum, you know, obviously, as you know, Platinum's got a very large library of intellectual property. It helped Platinum go public, and you know, brought investors to that, and really kind of structured that whole deal. Now we've got, you know, releasing our first movie. I still sit on the board of Platinum Studios, but I'm no longer involved really in the day-to-day operations of the company. But you know, we've got our first movie releasing. We've got this huge movie with Ron Howard and Steven Spielberg and Jon Favreau going into production. So you know, I kind of feel like Platinum has really kind of been set on rails. And you know, I've moved into WOWIO because we've got some really strong underlying IP. In our case, you know, you may have mentioned, you may have seen that, you know, we've mentioned something about our patent, and last week we talked about that.
Facebook post earlier this week. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. And you know, the IP for WOWIO is fairly significant in the ebook space. And so, you know, look at that as an opportunity to give WOWIO enough operating capital to run until we're able to move into the revenue generation mode. And I mean, frankly, you know, it's a model that I've been involved with a number of companies. We've had a number, some that have been featured on Money-TV, that have had a lot of success on the market, that have been that again give those companies the opportunity to go from step A to step B without giving away all of without giving away their company to you know, a major VC. And so, you know, I look at this route as just a really great opportunity to, you know, to build, grow the company in the vision that the entrepreneur founder generally has had in a growing market. And you know, I think it's a model that's repeatable, can be formulaic, and we've had some success, and I want to repeat that success. And so we're doing that with WOWIO.
It's interesting you say that, because I think a few weeks ago I dangled the carrot in front of you in another interview saying, you know, is there a possibility WOWIO might be going public, and you bit the carrot. You said, yes, that is part of the plan.
Well, it's definitely, you know, I always say, you know, it's an exit. We have our eye on the exit strategy, and the exit strategy not for me personally necessarily, not for the company, but really overall, like early stage investors, what's their exit strategy? Where's the company eventually going to go? Where's it going to go that's going to have the greatest success and the greatest reach? Sometimes it's going public, sometimes it's an acquisition, sometimes it's a part of a roll-up, sometimes it's jumping up to a very large board. Whatever that is, we try to position the companies to have the greatest chance of success for the greatest overall reach. So obviously our early stage investors do very well when they're a part of that process, but you know, ultimately it's about turning the companies into successful businesses, which I think, again, we're going to see Platinum Studios turn the corner. WOWIO, we're going to set it up to do the same thing.
Well, what you're doing is indicative of what we've been doing on Money-TV for 14 years, looking at early stage companies and watching them grow to the next level. Again, the company is WOWIO LLC. Check out their website. It's really interesting, wowio.com. Brian, always a pleasure.
Thank you, Don.